Hey, live. What's going on, guys? I'll give this a few minutes for some people to come into the chat. I just posted the link up for this and just shared that all around on some different pages there on YouTube. So I'll give you guys just a few minutes to come in and hang out. But basically, I'm just hanging out, as the title of the video would lead you to believe, that I'm working on weathering the MegaSize Zaku. So we'll light off of that. So not sure how well you can see that, but I'm sure you can see it is weathered here. So actually, pretty much the majority of the step that I'm on now, which is kind of chipping, sort of, yeah. Just applying the chipping. It's done on most of the kit, except for this leg is almost done. Just got a little bit more to do on this one. And the other leg, gotta do the other leg, and then just the weapons. That's pretty much it. Some of it's coming out better, others, but I think this arm does look, this arm specifically does look particularly pretty good. I'm happy with this. The chipping on there, just around on some of the edges. It's not like really extreme. There's also some just like not like rust, but it's kind of like dirt, grime, I guess, on it. So just working on this with some enamels, just mixing up. This is kind of like my go-to color for anything that I want to, which is not very often, but if I want to make anything look grimy. I keep this light is not really helping me anything. I want to show you guys close up, but just mixing up some black and brown. Basically, it's like 80% black and just a little bit of brown. The brown just lightens it up and gives it just a little bit of color rather than just being just straight black. So I think that works pretty well. Konbanwa. We have someone Japanese, or at least speaking Japanese, there in the chat. Celebrating with some Japanese beer. Okay. Someone's already asking if I can dab. It's probably not going to happen in this live stream. But yeah, the other big point of news for me is that yesterday I passed 50,000 subscribers. So give myself a little pat on the back for that. That's it's pretty awesome. I think I've had my channel for a little more than 3 years. This community, to get to that high number in that amount of time, I think it's pretty good. Damn, I need that. Paper. So, but it has seemed to drag a little bit in more recent history. I think it's just because like subscriber average, like daily average, has kind of plateaued. So it was like constantly going up for a while, and now it's just kind of like leveled off. So maybe that's why it seems like it's kind of dragged off. It's still really good though. But anyway, so yeah, if you guys want to, as always, if you guys want to leave any questions there for me in the chats between working on this and just kind of chatting with you guys, talking to you guys. Thank you, Michael. He's complimenting my shirt. This shirt is actually made by a friend of mine. I'm sure won't be watching this, but he's a university. Meat Mist was his band. He wanted to send me one of his band shirts while I was living in Japan. And I guess the only size that they had left was like ultra huge. So like it was just way too big for me. So I just cut it off and turned it into a I guess what you would call a muscle shirt if I had some muscles. But yeah, if you guys want to ask any questions, leave those there in all caps, so I can see that when I look up at the chat for me. Alex is there hanging out, so he'll be monitoring the chat. Thank you, Alex. How's it going? Good evening. Wow, the RG Zekuines just announced. No way. You guys were talking about that in a stream before. Flex and Gunpla muscles. Yeah. Can you apply panel lines and clean excess over painted kit without clear coat? Yeah, you can. I've done it. So just to kind of clarify again what he asked there. So basically, like if you paint your kit and then you want to do your panel lining before doing like a gloss top coat, you can do that. But what you may see happen is like you're gonna like kind of stain the paint, sort of. Depends on what product you use, of course. But if you don't like clean it off well, and it also depends on how good your paint job is. If you have like a really nice glossy paint, then the gloss coat is like even more optional if your paint is a glossy type paint, because then you've already got that gloss there. You're just missing the kind of protective layer. But the physicality of the glossy shine is there anyway. But yeah, you can do top coating, or you can do panel lining without top coating. Just for best results, it's better to top coat if you can. Guess what's the next new RG? I have a pretty good idea, but I'll just wait and find out. Zach, I have a question. Many people say that building a MegaSize Gunpla is easy as building an HG kit. Yeah, building a MegaSize, building the kit is easy, but as I'm finding out from this whole process of working on this kit, that actually like painting and doing everything takes a really long time, just because it's so much kit to work with. So I mean, in scale, it's larger than a perfect grade. It's not as complicated to build. So like, for example, a perfect grade will take you a really long time to build just because it's so many pieces. A MegaSize is very few pieces, but if you're gonna really like go through and do like all the painting and weathering and everything, everything I've found out on this kit, every step of the way, it's taken me a lot longer than I've expected. I've said that a few times on videos, I'm sure. So. Your schedule always seems so busy. How do you keep up with it and not feel worn out? Coffee and inspiration. I just really like what I do. I really love doing this stuff. So I just enjoy Gunpla. And so, yeah. Coffee also helps a lot too. Are you going to get the MegaSize Unicorn Gundam? Of course. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that I'm actually looking forward to the MegaSize more than the real grade. I did start snapping the real grade, and I'm hoping to finish snapping that tomorrow. So you guys probably should see the unboxing for the real grade unicorn. Probably that video coming up maybe tomorrow. And then the review subsequently after that. Also, actually, the next video that I just finished editing just earlier this evening, so I'll post it up after this live stream is done. I'll post a new video, is actually a work in progress video, which goes over some kind of customizing modifications. One thing I get asked a lot about is like tips for customizing, or like making custom kits and stuff like that. And so the video that I've got to upload after this will go into some of that stuff, just a work in progress on a HG Grimgird that I just started over the weekend suddenly for no reason. So after the live stream is done, I'll upload that video for you guys. So if you're curious about like the process of what I'm doing now, is basically just kind of going around the edges. I think you guys can sort of see that. Sorry, this light is really annoying to try to show you guys anything. But going on some of these edges, and you can see like the little black bits around there. So it looks like some of the paint is kind of chipped around some of the edges of there. So that's what I'm doing now with paint on my elbow. Any opinion on airbrushing versus hand painting? I've personally not really had a whole lot of luck hand painting, so a little bit not attracted to the idea of hand painting. But I know with practice and if you know what you're doing, you can get really good results out of it, just as good of results as if you airbrush. So it's just a matter of what you can get to work best for you. Man, it's a good. When I was working on this before, like I said, most of the kit is actually already done for this step of what I'm doing. But I was working on it like really, really late at night a few nights ago, and I really wanted to finish the whole thing. And I was fighting with myself. Oh, I should just stop and take a rest and finish the rest of it later. But I really want to finish. But I was super tired, like falling asleep as I was doing this. But I'm really glad that I stopped and took a rest because now I feel like a lot more focused and I feel like I'm doing it a lot better now than I was a couple days ago when I was working on this before. That being said, I really don't feel like my weathering in general is very good. Just a little lack of experience, lack of practice. Just not really good at it. But we'll see. This is coming out looking all right so far. So, how's the weather there? The weather here today was very rainy, which is fine because I didn't really have anything to do outside. I like rainy days when I don't have anything to do. If there's something that I actually want to do outside, then of course it can be a little bit annoying. But so the weather was fine today. Actually, I went to the movie theater with my wife. My wife's parents were kind enough to look after our son for us for a couple hours so we could go to the movie theater. And we watched War for the Planet of the Apes. It was pretty good. It's I think as in the last live stream I was talking about how that's one of my favorite movie franchises is Planet of the Apes. And the new one did not disappoint. It dragged a little bit. I think it could have been a half hour shorter. But in general, I was pretty pleased with it. I liked it pretty well. It didn't really do a whole lot to really shock and awe me. Everything was pretty predictable. Woody Harrelson's character was not really particularly interesting as I was hoping he would be. But it's worth seeing if you guys have liked other films in the series. Do you play SRW games? I guess that means Super Robot Wars games. No, I don't. But they look pretty cool. I just don't really play games like really in general. But Super Robot Wars games do look cool. Just have never really played any of them. Actually, I think I played like one handheld game like for 5 minutes, and then I just didn't really like the style of it. Just not like my particular taste in games. The game style, I mean, that type of game. Yeah, that's pretty good. HG Astria review. Yeah, maybe. I have that. Did I not review that? I have that kit and I've snapped it, but maybe I didn't ever review it. I like that kit a lot. It's one of my favorite HG, one of my favorite 00 designs, the Astria. So yeah, I guess I'll have to review that sometime. I have the HG Astria as well as the F-Type. Let's see. It's just so much kit. It really takes a long time. What would you have any advice for any first-time dads? Oh, there's a question. That's not a Gunpla related at all, but man, uh, have you looked into Stoicism? Because not only is it, I think, a good philosophy to have just for your life, but for the kind of stress that you deal with as a father. Helpful, I think. Um, when is the MG double zeta Verka coming out? In September, I believe. So in a couple weeks. Not too long now. I think I'm gonna call this leg done. It's always bits. That's the thing with this MegaSize kit. There's always more. There's always more of the kit. More. There's always more of it. It's so big. Hey. Oh, yes. Thanks, coffee dude. Good looking out. Mm-mm-mm. Oh yeah. So concerning the 50,000 subscribers, I will sometime, probably later this week, I'll have an announcement video for you guys concerning the contest that I'm going to be doing related to that. So be on the lookout for that. That looks kind of stupid. One of the skills that I think you really need to have to do weathering is to, how do I want to say this? I can't think of a better way to say this. So basically, to not be a perfectionist. Yeah, because that makes it really hard, I think. Because you kind of just have to like be in a flow, just kind of keep moving, keep going, just kind of keep going away at it here and there, and I'm just not good at that. What mix is your pen wash? I use the same stuff that I'm using for this. Like I'm using this now for shipping, but if I was going to use this for panel lining, I just add a little bit of thinner to it just to thin it down. And Zach, are you going to Japan again to see the 1-to-1 scale Unicorn Gundam? I'm planning to go to Japan again in November for the Gunpla Expo in Tokyo, and then at that time, yeah, I'll see the unicorn there as well, and of course do videos and all that for you guys. I actually have a different plan. I'm gonna make videos, of course, but something else I want to work on as well. I'll let you guys know about that more in the future. What Gundam series do you enjoy a lot? Unicorn, Turn A, 8th MS Team. What's the best Converge so far in your opinion? Best Converge? I don't know. That's a hard one. A lot of the Converge figures are really cool. And I don't have all of them out at the moment on my shelf there, but the Silver Bullet is really cool. I just really like the design a lot. The Converge Turn A and Turn X are also really cool though. Yeah, I don't know. They're all great. The Converge Capul is cool too because it almost doesn't even look like a Converge like SD because the Capul's proportions are already kind of like that sort of. Other hobbies besides Gunpla? These days, not a whole lot. Yeah, just music, movies. Mm, I love riding my bike, like bicycle, but I haven't really been able to do that a whole lot recently just because just busy life and all of that. So that's actually something probably later this week. I'm planning to take my bike into the bike shop. I gotta have a couple of things checked. That I could do myself actually, but one of the things, actually, kind of the main reason for going into a bike shop is because I don't have a pump and I need one. So, oh, oof, oof. Got to buy that, and I'll just kind of basically like use the facilities of their shop on my bike a little bit while I'm there. I think the other reason why I'm not very good at hand painting is the same reason why I think I'm not very good yet at scribing. It's because my hand is not very steady. Yeah, the Converge Turn X, Laurent. Hello. Yeah, I'll pluck him off the shelf there. He did appear. I do have a video showing these, but yep, yeah, out of the light there because it has this cool effect part for the claw, which is pretty awesome. It actually has all the weapons on the back. There has like the bazooka, the rifle, and the kind of rocket launcher, missile launcher. Can all actually be taken out of the backpack and handheld if you want, which is pretty cool. Uh, Not a lot of. I think it has no. Oh, the pistol as well. Yeah. So it actually has 4 different weapons and an effect part they can use for it, and that's kind of a lot for a Converge figure. Get it back there on the shelf. There we go. Would you ever consider a special guest a fan on Gunpla Talk? Uh, Maybe not on Gunpla Talk, but that would also not be only my decision, as that's obviously not only me there doing that. So if it was something that maybe we had discussed amongst ourselves and something that we wanted to do, then I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to the idea. But kind of, some of you guys may or may not know this. If you don't know this, you should go check them out. But they were doing Gunpla Talk basically much more informally over on Jim's channel for a while before it kind of moved on to my channel. And when we moved it to my channel, basically our goal was to make it kind of more formal, more organized like that. And because one thing that they were doing before is they were having like a lot of people on at once, and it was just kind of chaotic. Just a lot of people, so you didn't really get a whole lot of chance for everyone to talk, I think, maybe. So we wanted to just stick to like the same group of us and just have like 1 or 2 guests on per show, like something related to the topic we want to talk about. So yeah, if someone in particular was uh, related to the topic at hand, then that's how we decide who we want to have on. Or if it's kind of give me the other way around, someone that we really want to have on, so we choose the topic based on what that person's like skill is or whatever specifically. So we do actually have some discussion usually when we're deciding who we want to have on the show. How old is your kid now? My kid is almost 2. He'll be 2 in October. And the second one will come in January. What was your first Gunpla? Maybe I'm just missing all the good questions, but you guys keep asking me questions that I answer in like every single live stream I've ever done. But my first Gunpla was the 100 scale HG Shenlong kit from Bandai's HD 100 Wing series. Way back in the day. Pretty all right kit. Very heavy on the panel lines, but some people might like that depending on your taste. How big is your collection? Also, say what? Your wife is pregnant? Yes, my wife is in fact pregnant. And what? I don't want to do a collection video. I saw that Mecha Guy Kotsu recently made a collection video, so I figured that there's a good chance that I'm gonna start getting people to ask that from me. It occasionally happens. I occasionally do get requests. People say they want to see like some sort of like backlog video or something, or like a video showing my like Gunpla display. But I don't really display much, because I don't really build in order to display. I mean, I just build just to enjoy the process of it. It's just something to do. And then after that, it's just kind of, it's not really important, just like staring at it some more. But anyway, yeah, so I figured I would get requests to do some sort of like collection video like similar to that, but I just don't have the time or the interest in doing that. I know it would get a lot of views. It would be a popular video, make me some money. But I'm just not interested in that. I don't really think it's all that worthwhile. It doesn't really communicate. It doesn't really what's the word? Contribute anything for you guys. It's just something to look at. And people will say, oh, it's good like if 50 comments of people being like, oh, you have so many Gunpla, can't you just give me one? Or why do you have so many kits if you don't have time to build them or something like that? I just don't even want to see the stupid comments that video would get. But yeah, no offense to anyone who would ask such a comment or who would leave such a comment. Can I send you pics of my painted kits? Yeah, Ricardo is asking if you can send me pics. People often send me photos of their kits on my Facebook page. So yeah, just send me a message on my ZakuAurelius Facebook page. It's not really every day, but it's relatively often. I'll get a message from someone, check out their build and sort of give some feedback. So I can gladly do that. For only $9.99 per build. Are you ready for your first? What's that? Comment's going too fast. Are you ready for your first child to enter his or her terrible twos? I heard that's the toughest time. Yeah, I think he's already in his terrible twos. He's not quite two yet, but I think he's there. You pretty much ask him anything and he just says no. It'll be like, oh, do you want some water? And no, and then hand it to him and he starts drinking it. In Korean, of course, but do you scratch build heavily modify your kits? Not really. a little bit of experience, like kind of scratch building, but really not much. And heavily modify, no. I usually like to always do like at least a little bit of modification. Yeah, I did forget that part on this one, like, didn't I? I think I'm at the point now where it would be really, really hard for me actually to build and paint a kit without modifying it in any way. Just because I just enjoy that aspect of it so much, just in some small way, making the build more unique and my own. So, like I said, after this video, I have a video work in progress video on the Grimgird. You guys will see. It's my next upload, and in that video, yeah, you'll see it's just like taking the Grimgird and doing just a couple little changes to it, just to make it more to how I wanted to do it. So I think a lot of people maybe get to that as well. But I don't know, like other like modeler friends of mine, I know really often do like a lot of like painted builds without really actually changing anything on the kit. But for me, it's kind of really hard to imagine at this point. Not saying that I'm like some like modification master, because I'm definitely not. But I just enjoy that part of it. Is the MG Gundam of the Origin a good MG, Zach? Yes, it's one of my favorite MGs that I built. The Gundam of the Origin Masquerade is really, really good. Fantastic. I like it a lot more than the 3.0 as a model kit, in my personal taste, I should say. Transmission, no, my son is not allowed in this room. He doesn't really express, he's been in here, so he's seen what's in here, but he doesn't really express a whole lot of interest to try to come in here, luckily. I haven't had to like start locking the door or anything like that yet. So that's lucky, but obviously he's not yet 2, so he hasn't expressed any interest in Gundam or anything at this point. And if or whenever he does in the future is fine, but you know, it's not really a concern for me, right? I think whoever that was before that was asking about advice for new dads, that's some advice, I guess. Just don't. Maybe that sounds wrong, but don't expect anything. That could sound wrong, but hopefully you get what I mean. This is something usually whenever I talk about anything like this with my dad, this is kind of like the line that he always gives me. Is he always says like, how did he say? He says like, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember exactly how he usually says it, but he usually says something along the lines of like, oh, I didn't get the book on that, or like, I didn't ever read the book on how to do that, or I didn't get that book on how to do that. Basically, his point is that there isn't any certain way to do something. Like there is no like handbook for adulting. That painted Zuda was weathered. Yeah. Cool. The light, what is that? It's great. Oh, sorry. No, sorry, the light was kind of it's kind of like hiding my face there. What are you using for weathering? I'm just using some enamel paint, some Tamiya enamel paint to make a sort of chipping effect around the edges of the panels. What is your favorite melee weapon? For me, to use personally, I've never really done a whole lot of melee battling myself, so I couldn't answer that for myself. But for like model kits or for like mecha is what I'm guessing you're talking about. That is a tough one. Favorite melee weapon? I think the VMAX that the Shinanju and the Sazabi use is a really cool looking weapon. Although like posing that kit, that probably wouldn't be my first, second, or third choice for a weapon to pose that kit with, just because its other weapons are also really cool. Do you have a favorite Gundam series? I rewind the video like 20 minutes. I answered that before. You should watch Knights and Magic. I don't know what Knights and Magic is, but it doesn't sound like something I would really be interested in, as I'm not really interested in Knights or Magic. Sorry. I'm guessing it's an anime series or something. Best grunt suit? It's obviously the Zaku. No, I don't know. Best grunt suit. Shit. Best grunt suit. I don't know. I have to think about that. Ask that again on the next live stream, and I'll have forgotten the question and struggle answering it again. Knights and Magic is about mecha. Okay, well that's a little bit more appealing, but I still don't think I'm going to watch it just because I can't even manage to. I haven't even managed to finish watching IBO yet. Actually, I stopped at like episode 47, and I just have felt no need to watch the last 3 episodes. How long does it typically take you to build a 1/44 scale Gunpla? Do you have any tips on how to build it efficiently? My tip would be not to worry about building a kit efficiently, because basically how I see it is that when you're buying a kit, you're not only just paying for like the physical kit that you're getting, but you're paying for using your time. It's kind of like going to the movie theater, right? You're paying to see the movie, but you're also just paying to be entertained for 2 hours. So it's kind of the same thing with Gunpla. So I wouldn't ever like want to be in a hurry to build something, because I want it to take some time. That's kind of why I got it, or that's kind of what I get out of it. So I know, but as far as how long it takes me to build, I'm planning on actually this is on my list of this is on my to-do list for frequently asked questions. So I am going to do a frequently asked question video related to this topic, probably sometime in the near future. But just to answer it for you guys now, and I think I've answered this before other times as well, is usually for HG kits, a pretty good rule of thumb for me is about 1 hour per runner for just snapping a kit. I can do it a little bit faster or slower depending on what I want to do. If I'm in a hurry, I can do it faster. If I want to take my time, if it's something like I'm planning on painting soon, then I'll take my time and build it more slowly, because I'll spend more time sanding and getting all the nubs like more clean and everything. So yeah, for like a typical HG Armblade Orphans kit, usually like 3 runners, usually takes me about 3 hours to snap it. Just for an example of a Armblade Orphans HG IBO kits, because usually something like that. Melvin Dog said, "Can you show us that leg close up you're working on. Here you go. So like here, this section, I haven't done anything around the edges, so you can see it's just panel lining, and there's some like little dirt here and there that I did already. But up in this section, I've going around some of the edges. Maybe you can see it more on this side. Just going around some of the edges and adding a little bit of paint to make it look chipped around on the edges like that. Yep. Can you get the Kodo KG6 Slipner from Aldano Zero and review it? I have been interested in getting that kit. I think it's a cool looking kit. I've never watched the anime. I have no frame of reference for that, but it is a cool looking kit. I like just the design of it. So I have considered getting that kit before. It's not really high on my to-do list though, because I have so many other things to do, and this is not a high priority for me to buy and review that kit. But I'm sure probably sometime over the course of history, I will eventually buy that. Just not anytime soon. Sorry. Oh, is that Jim here as well? Gumpla Fixation. Hey, Jim. Didn't see you come in. Sorry. Hey, Zach, will you review the PG Unicorn from Dragon Ball Momoko? Please, please stop asking me about that. I hope that's a joke. I hope you watched the last live stream and you're just joking, but please stop asking me about the Dragon Momoko Unicorn or the Final Battle PG Unicorn. It's just, that's one question that I really just hope to never see again. People asking me to review a PG Unicorn in any way, shape, or form. When I unboxed the PG Unicorn, either the Final Battle one, as well as the Dragon Momoko one, I'm pretty sure in both of those unboxing videos, I said that I just don't have time to like snap and review the kit anytime soon. And if you guys follow my channel, I think you've seen that I haven't been like taking a rest from doing this, so I haven't had time to get around to snapping either of those PG Unicorn kits. Those PG Unicorn kits take a while to snap. So yeah, follow me on Instagram if you want to know like what I'm doing. If you see me post a photo on Instagram of like a work in progress of snapping that unicorn, PG Unicorn, then you'll know that the review's coming. But if not, then just please don't ask me that. Or if that was a joke, then also please don't ask me that, because it really flusters my Jim Bobs. What PG would you recommend? I wouldn't really recommend PGs that much at all. I think this is something I've talked about, or I've ranted about. I don't know if it was the last live stream or not, of some other live stream where I've ranted about my thoughts on perfect grades, but I don't think they're that great. They're just big and expensive, but I think you're much better off getting a nice master grade. Unless there's a perfect grade that you're like really in love with, then if there's a perfect grade that you think looks really cool, then just get that perfect grade. You don't need my recommendation of which one is good. Just get whatever one looks good to you. Because the perfect grades are pretty much just like big display pieces. They don't actually really do a whole lot. I'd say the strike is kind of an exception to that, because the strike is, I think, and I suppose the Astray as well, because they're very similar. They're just ones that I think were made more with the intent on actually being able to do more with them. The unicorn is awesome, and it looks really awesome. But it's just, yeah. I mean, perfect grades, there's just not a whole lot you can really do with them. But they're fun. Like I was talking about before, like about getting value from the kit based on the amount of time that it takes you to build it. You definitely get a lot of value out of perfect grade. So I guess that's something. How far skill-wise do you see yourself reaching, or do you have a goal as a builder? Don't really have any specific goal. There's things that I would like to be able to do that I can't do, but there's also things that I'm like higher skill levels that I'm just not really all that interested in doing. Like for example, resin casting. I've never really thought like, man, I really wish I knew how to do resin casting, because I think there's definitely some cool things that you can do with that, of course, and it's definitely a really good skill to know. I suppose if I had a chance, I would like to learn that or to get some experience doing that, but it's not something that I'm really going to like really take a lot of time and effort to learn how to do that, because just for what I like to make currently, it's just not really necessary. Um, uh, if I think I keep seeing people in the chat saying hi to Henry, so I guess Henry's here, but I haven't seen Henry say anything in the chat. So if you are here, hello, Henry. And Henry is a great example of this. So like if I was someone like Henry and I wanted to build a kit that Bandai hasn't made, like for example he did with his Oz project, where he made a few kits like totally from scratch. In that case, resin casting is very helpful, and um, so he did that and it served him really well, and it came out really nice. But in my case, I don't really see myself wanting to make a kit that Bandai doesn't make. There's plenty of Bandai kits out there for me to make already. I'm kind of fine with just waiting to see if they'll ever make that or not. I don't know if I'll ever be like that hungry for a kit that I just want to just make it myself. Like again, like mad props to Henry for doing that. They came out really awesome, and like for other people that do that, they do look super good when you do that. But I think it's just related to just time that I have or don't have. But so getting back to your original question, sorry, kind of strayed away there for a bit, but yeah, there's skills still yet that I would like to get better at and improve, but I'm also just, I think I'm just kind of realistic about the amount of time. Here's the thing that would make a big difference: was by some miracle able to turn this into like my actual full-time job, then I would definitely get into like everything. I would try. I mean, I would get into learning about resin casting and everything and all of that, because I would be able to share that with you guys and be like a good source of information and whatever for you guys, trying out a whole bunch of different stuff. So yeah, if I was actually able to do this for my day job, I would, do it all. But I'm just kind of realistic to the amount of time that I have to use for stuff. So I just like to make stuff I think looks cool. So at the moment, pretty much the majority of the skills that I need to make stuff that I think looks cool, I have. I would like to be better at like scribing for sure. I've been practicing that a little bit on this kit, and it's really hard. It's definitely takes a lot of practice. So if any of you guys are interested in like getting into scribing, I'll just tell you, like, just from my experience, and I think anyone who's had a lot of experience in it, it takes a while to really get used to. But it's hard. If you could have any one-to-one mobile suit made, what would it be? Ball. Easy. If Bandai were to make a PG Barbatos, which form do you think they would make? Which form do I think they would make? Probably the original Barbatos, but I don't know. They made the Double O Gundam before they made the Exia, so I guess they could make the Barbatos Lupus before making the regular Barbatos. I think the Barbatos Lupus would probably be more popular than the original Barbatos. So it just depends on whether they went with something that would be more popular or something that was like the original. I don't see them making a perfect grade Barbatos. It would be cool. Actually, that's one perfect grade kit that I think would actually be kind of cool, because they could make the inner frame a lot more complicated. We don't have any master grade of that, so the HD 100 scale frames are nice, but they're really simple. But to have a really nice, like super detailed and complicated inner frame for an IBO kit would be really cool. How would you like to see my weathered HG Zuda that doggo did a chew on? Your dog chewed on your kit? So adding some natural weathering to it, right? What kind of music do you listen to? Thanks for reminding me. I'm sitting here with my earphones in, and it makes a good microphone to talk to you guys, but I'm actually not listening to anything. I'm going to better put on some music. Hello, Strider Prime. Popped it there in the chat as well. Another of our YouTube community members. That's I've mentioned a couple of times in this chat that I started that Grimgird project. That was actually something, just a quick idea that I just suddenly had that I wanted to do, but also just Strider Prime has his HDR and Blood Orphans contest going on now that's ending at the end of the month here. So assuming that I can get the Grimgird done within the next, 10 days or something, then I'll enter that in Strider Prime's contest. It's not like super custom or anything, so I don't have any thoughts that it's going to actually win anything, but it's just something that I wanted to make, just a really quick little project. I would show you guys it right now, but I just before the live stream, I was just spraying the primer on that, so it's all broken up and it's just primed now, so I'll paint that up tomorrow. Music. What do I want here? Someone asked what kind of music I listen to. I listen to a lot of different kind of stuff. I'll talk more about music in a second, but one thing here, this is a question in the chat here. Michael asked, are you going to get the Dragon Momoko Avalanche Exia? I've been getting asked this a lot. This is a question I probably get asked. I've probably been asked this question once a day for the past couple weeks, is if I'm going to review that Dragon Momoko Exia kit, the Avalanche Exia. And no, I like the Avalanche Exia quite a lot, actually, but I just don't really feel like really pressed to get that kit. So I actually got in touch with Dragon Momoko, and I told them that a lot of people are requesting me to review that, but I'm not really interested in personally buying the kit. So if you want to send me one, I'll review it, but otherwise I'm probably not going to get it. So they replied by asking me if I have WhatsApp, the kind of messaging program. And I said, no, I don't. I have this and this and this other messaging program, and they haven't responded again after that. So I don't know. I have a feeling that English is not their first language. Oh, I know it's not their first language, but I don't know what their English competency is, just kind of in talking, so like emailing. So I don't know if that's kind of a thing, or if they just don't care about sending me a free kit. Whatever. Are you going to paint Dragon Ball Mecha Collection kits? Yeah. So yeah, eventually. Yeah, I'll really paint those Dragon Ball, or sorry, the collection kits. What is your favorite beer? Asahi is pretty good, actually. Probably my favorite beer would be Kirin Ichiban, a different Japanese beer. I prefer Kirin more than Asahi, but Asahi is more readily available here in Korea. You can get Kirin, but yeah. Is the stream going okay? I've seen on my end the stream, the video doesn't really look that good, and it's kind of cut out there for a second. Okay, I'm trying to choose some music here. Would you ever do a custom based on your favorite beer? No, maybe not a custom based on my favorite beer, but I'll show you guys these custom decals that I had Samuel make for me a long time ago that I wanted to use. Making a custom build based on just not my favorite, but a product that I like is here. So I got these Onitsuka Tiger decals that I made up and had Samuel print for me. I wanted to make just some kit and then just put some Onitsuka Tiger decals on it. But I just haven't had the proper opportunity to do that yet. But sometime, that's a kind of a product related build that I want to make at some point. But probably not beer related, although that's not a bad idea, actually. I'll keep that in mind. One thing that I really like to do, and that I would really like to do more often, and is kind of one of the reasons why I did decide to just quickly do that HG Grimgrid project, is just some more like quick, simple, fun HG painted builds. Something that I can do in like a week, just to have something cool. And those custom decals like that are good for those kind of projects. They're just something quick and fun. So the Grimgrid is definitely something along those lines. You guys will see in that work in progress video. Back to this. How much does Samuel decals cost? For printing your own custom decals, I don't know exactly. I just tell him what I want, and then he tells me how much it costs, and I pay it. I don't know. I literally don't know if there's like a flat rate for ordering your own custom decals. Or if it depends on like the size of the decal sheet that you're ordering. Jim, if Jim is still there in the chat, he could probably answer this better than me. I think he may know, or maybe he pays more attention to that than I do. Yeah, Jim. So Jim's saying there in the chat that he charges by the size. I thought that was right, but I'm not quite sure. So yeah. So I remember like question that he's like trying to rip me off or something. So it's just kind of, he tells me how much it costs, and I just send him money. Samuel decal is usually based, yeah. So Henry's saying there as well. It's based on the size of the sheet. Yep. How much paper he has to use, and he does. If you guys are interested in making your own, I had this problem actually recently. If you're interested in making your own decal layout and sending that to Samuel to print for you, get in touch with him first and find out what the dimensions are for his printing, because I laid out this big, huge decal sheet, and then he told me I had to fix it because like the dimensions of the paper were different. So I don't know. This isn't exactly what it was, but like for example, I laid it out on like an A4 size sheet, like 8.5 by 11 inch document size, like that. But then he told me it needed to be like 10 by 4. Anyway, you guys get what I mean. So it was different than what I had it laid out as. So before you go through all the time of laying out this huge decal sheet and then having to redo it all, let me get in touch with him first. Zach, do you have a PO box? I don't. I had one, and I don't know if it's still working. I think when I got the PO box, they told me that like if it was completely inactive for like 60 days or something like that, then they would close it. And it's definitely been a lot more than 60 days. That was like a long time ago when I did just a giveaway, a contest giveaway, where I had people just send me physical mail, and then I chose one at random to win the giveaway. Anyway, so at that time I did open up a PO box, but now currently I don't have one, unless that one is by some miracle still open in my name, but I don't think it is. I haven't been to check it in like a long time. That contest was long gone. But if you do want to send me something, just send me. Oh, it's Gunrunner. The person who asked this question I'm talking about the PO box is in the chat there. Gunrunner, but with the last R spelled as a 3. Just a shout out to him. You guys check out his channel if you haven't. He actually chatted to me on Facebook and shared his channel with me. His channel is really cool. Some cool stuff there. Really nicely presented videos. So you guys check out his channel if you want. But yeah, if there's something you want to send me, just send me a message on Facebook and I'll give you my address. But No, at the moment I don't have a PO box. Which series needs a kit refresh the most? So a series needs a kit refresh? Oh, Stardust Memory for sure. Pretty much all the kits from Stardust Memory are old except the HG Geber Tetra. And a lot of those could use a revamp. Thank you, Erwin, for that 50K. Congrats. Do you prefer MG Zeta 2.0 or the of MG Sentinel? Huh? You mean like the MG Zeta Plus? I'm guessing. I don't know. Anyway, when is the router is asking when is the Tristan fix scheduled? As soon as I finish this, because this is taking up my desk and I need the desk space. So yeah, as soon as I finish the this MegaSize, and I have a couple other things that are already finished that I just need to photograph, and a couple small things that I'm just like kind of also working on, just painting. As soon as possible, guys. I really do have like really terrible like ADD about working on projects. I just really just want to work on whatever I want to work on that day, and I really do want to work on the Tristan. But the thing about that is that's a much more involved of filming that as a proper like tutorial-esque kind of work in progress video. So it's a lot more effort than like the kind of work in progress video that I did for the Grimgir that you guys will see going up after this. So it just takes time, which has been in short supply recently. This is another thing too. Last week, my wife was in the hospital for a couple of days, and then my son was after that, just directly after that, my son was also in the hospital for a couple of days. Nothing serious, so like it wasn't like really bad or anything, but I had even less time than usual. So especially the last week, really like last week was very unproductive for me. Like I still posted some videos, getting stuff done. Like I would have loved to start the Tristan project last week actually, but yeah, it was just I really wasn't able to get a whole lot of anything done last week, which is fine. I mean, obviously I had to take care of my family. That's much more important. But that is why one of the reasons, just one of the reasons why the Tristan video series project hasn't started yet. I know you guys, maybe not all of you, but I know a lot of people are anxious to see that, and me too. I'm anxious to start that project. I think it'll be fun. But yeah, gonna take some time. Zach, how are you, friend? I'm pretty good. This just takes a long time. This is one reason why I don't like doing weathering. This takes forever, especially on a kit this big. This is too big. This kit is just too big. I know I like saying that a lot, but I'm really looking forward to the MegaSize Unicorn. And I do really want to paint that kit, not right away. I have way too many things going on at the moment. So eventually I do really want to paint that kit, but really don't want to do anything like too custom with it. It's just going to be a really simple paint job for that. Probably give it like a little bit different colors, like tweak the colors a little bit, and that's it. Because these MegaSize kits just take too damn long. It's just my gunplay ADD can't handle it. Henry is a machine, though. I don't know if Henry's still in the chat, but if you guys will remember, this this was actually supposed to be a build-off between Henry and I, and Henry finished his like really, really quickly compared to mine. I mean, not like super quickly, but definitely he's been done with his for ages, and he did a really good job on his Dokuro Zaku. It's really cool. I like that a lot. If I wasn't making this as a gift for a friend of mine, I really would have loved to have asked Henry to trade our kits after we were done. Like after seeing that he's working on the Dokuro Zaku, I was like, oh, man, I really want to ask Henry to just trade kits after we're finished with them, because I really like that Dokuro Zaku. But yeah, this one I'm giving to I'm making it as a gift for a friend of mine. So no can do. Maybe something else. We'll see. Yeah, Henry says he still spent like 5 months on his. Yeah, I think one thing why it's also taken me a long time is just that I spent like a couple months like starting working on it, and then I stepped away from it. I took a break for like 3 or 4 months. That was when I did the Master Grade Psycho Zaku, and I really wasn't expecting that to take as long as it did either. So I guess I'm just not really good at judging how long a project is going to take. But anyway, this is finally almost done. I really, really, really can't wait to finish this, just so number one, I can be done with it, and then just as well, I just can't wait for my friend to get this. He's gonna love it, even though, like I've said before, he's not into like Gundam and Gunpla at all. But I know he's just gonna really love the gesture. I know he's one of my really good friends. Super awesome guy. Alex knows him. He came to my wedding. Can I send pics right now? Yeah, Ricardo, you can send pics to my Facebook page whenever you want. Where are you guys able? Or were you guys able to make it to the GBWC Korea? Yeah, Alex went to the GBWC, so I know he posted some videos about that. You can check that out. I don't know. I can't remember if that was on his channel or his Facebook page, but yeah, his YouTube channel there. He said. But yeah, Alex went to the expo. I wanted to go, but I wasn't able to. I was planning on actually going. One of the reasons why I didn't go to the expo is because I was planning to go away for the weekend this weekend. Not for the weekend, but just for like year, 1 night, 2 days, to visit another friend um, who's currently living in Japan, but he popped over to Korea for a couple days and wanted to meet up with him there. But just due to my wife and son being sick, just kind of had to call that off, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. But so that was one of the reasons why I didn't go to Seoul for the GBWC. Now I kind of wish I would have went to GBWC, but it's all right. Not a big deal. Like I said, I'm planning to go to GBWC hopefully in November in Tokyo, so we'll be there for that. That's good. What are your thoughts on an HG banana? What's an HG banana? Oh, almost done with this leg, and then we can just move on to the weapons. I think I mentioned this in the last live stream, but I don't remember. But like, because this is a gift for like a friend of mine who's not into Gunpla at all, I could have easily done like a quarter of the work that I'm putting into this, and he would have loved it just the same. I really feel like he's not going to. It's not that he'll appreciate it a lot no matter what, but I don't think he'll realize the amount of time that went to this. But it's okay. I realize the amount that he's helped me in my life. So that's the important point. the dummy arm, the new arm, or the replacement arm, is actually not getting any weathering on it. So at least can save a little time by not having to worry about weathering one of the arms. I'm just doing a little bit here on the joint, that's all, just to give the joint a little bit of definition. Elbow joint. It's actually kind of, because the whole kit is gloss coated and I'm working under these lights, the lights actually kind of make it hard to see at some point, sometimes, because it's too shiny. Everything's glossy. Questions? I don't see any in the chat. If you guys have questions, again, feel free to leave those there. Did you guys see War for the Planet of the Apes? What did you think about it? It's pretty cool. So, of the recent three, the current series of Planet of the Apes, I think I like the second one the best, though, still. Ah, damn. Previous one. Watching this live stream makes you want to buy MegaSize Zaku? I can't imagine why it would. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, all three of the recent. Here's my one criticism of most favorite Robert De Niro performance. Seriously celebrated birthday. I don't know. Here's my one criticism of the recent Planet of the Apes movies is that most people have not seen the original series of movies. Many people are familiar with the original Charlton Heston movie, the original Planet of the Apes movies, but then they made 4 more after that, which explain the backstory of how the planet became a Planet of the Apes. So, like, the prequels already exist in like the canon story of that, but then even like everyone's thinking of like this current series now that's going on. Many people keep considering it to be like a prequel to the original movie, when the prequels for the original movie in canon already exist. So it's a totally different prequel setup for that. And I've seen like some interviews with the directors of like just like the movies, saying like, oh yeah, we're like setting up like what happened before that. And it's like that was already set up in a movie like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. What are you talking about? So that's kind of annoying for me as a fan of the series. We already know the backstory of how it became a Planet of the Apes. This new series is a good series, and it's an interesting take on the backstory, on the prequel story to that, but it's totally different. It's very, very different. If you guys have never seen the original movie series, like Beneath the Planet of the Apes and War for the Planet of the Apes, Escape from Planet of the Apes, those movies, I would definitely recommend you guys check those out. Some are definitely better than others. If you're a big fan of like science fiction movies and like those type of movies, then you'll enjoy that. especially if you're into like that era of like a little bit cheesy. Kind of weird. Did you already come to the US to visit your family? Last time I was in the US was 2 years ago. Really? Yeah. Last time I was in the US was 2 years ago for my wedding. My wife and I got married twice, once here in Korea and then once in America. Here in Korea, obviously, so like her family could all attend, and then once in America, so my family could attend. So we haven't been back to America since then. My parents have been here though, but I haven't seen the rest of my family. But I'm an only child, so I don't have any brothers or sisters or anything, so not really missing anyone too much, like some of their family and everything. But it's basically just my parents, and some like aunts, uncles, grandma, like that. Who is your favorite female character from a Gundam series? Favorite female character would be three. One would be Marita Cruz. I think that's a pretty easy one. I think a lot of people may agree with that. Marita. The second one would be Aina Sahalin from 8th MS team. And the third one is one that a lot of people may not even recognize the name, I suppose, is Sochie Haim, is the sister in Terne. Really liked her character a lot. So it's actually kind of interesting that my three favorite female characters in Gundam come from my three favorite Gundam series, like 8th MS team, Aina, Unicorn, it's Marita, and Terne. So Sochie. She's, I guess, a main character. She's kind of almost a side character, but she's great in that series. I really like her character a lot, and I think like if you're paying attention to the series, her character is actually a really well written character. She is a kind of very realistic kind of character, I think, in a series that can be very cartoony at times, and she's definitely an enjoyable character. Actually, just recently I was looking at this kind of figure of her that I really wanted to buy because I really like her character. But the figure, it's like one of those like UFO catcher things, and it's like a pretty old one, so it's pretty rare. And it's like $60 or something like that. It's kind of a lot for just a thing to just kind of stand up on your shelf and not be able to do anything with. But I'm really considering it. I consider it a lot until I think about like all the places in the world that I've never visited and that I would like to visit. And then I think I really should save that money. But then again, you only live once, so that's the struggle. Would you go with a Gyaradoga or a Gyarazzulu? Gyarazzulu for sure. I like the Gyarazzulu a lot more than the Gyaradoga. Do you believe in Beast of Possibilities? I don't really know exactly what you mean by that question, so I'm not sure. Have you ever been to Singapore? I've never been to Singapore. Been to a few different Asian countries in this area, but no, never Singapore. But one of my friends, a Korean friend, is married. He just recently, last year, got married, or earlier this year, I should say, got married to a Singaporean woman, and so he's spent some time in Singapore. He says it's a really nice place to live, so he recommended me to consider moving there. But I've never visited myself, no. I think that's enough for this guy. Yep. What do you think the next RG that's going to be? I talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream, way back at the beginning of the stream. I have a very good idea of what the next real grade is going to be, but why don't we all just wait and find out? I think I saw something posted that apparently that's going to be announced this weekend at C3, which will be today. So announced like now or next weekend. I guess that's next weekend, isn't it? Last weekend of this month, I think so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the next RG is. There was a point in time in the past when I really loved the RG line, but not that much these days. Actually, there's other lines that I like a lot more. I'm just not the real grade kits are cool, but I'm just not as interested in the real grade kits as other things. I'm more interested to know. Hey, Ricardo. I'm more interested to know what the next RE is going to be, which I also heard whispers. Will you go to C3 Tokyo? No, I'm not going to C3. Thoughts on Josh not placing in GBWC? Yeah, Josh didn't place in GBWC Australia. I understand, but I think he should have placed. He definitely should have placed. Whether he should have won first place is debatable, but I definitely think he should have gotten in the top 3. So that's got to be disappointing. He, based on what I've seen him say publicly on Facebook and what he's said to like our group chat, I know he's taking it well. Like he's not like super disappointed about it. He just enjoys everything, but still, I mean, it's got to be a little bit disappointing, I'm sure. What mobile suit would you pilot? I would pilot the ball. I don't know. No idea. That Red Jesta should have also placed at GBWC Australia. I haven't looked at all the pictures, so I actually haven't seen all the entries from GBWC Australia. But one thing that I heard was that apparently Kawaguchi and Bandai, one thing that they were really looking for this year was the creativity. Like that was something that they were especially looking at, and I think that definitely shows when you look at the entries that won. They weren't looking as much this year at like technical skills or like detail, things like that, but just more so yeah, and seeing how people got really creative. You can see that a lot from the kit that won for GBWC Korea as well. I think Alex was saying from what he heard from some Koreans that a lot of Koreans have been kind of upset about the kit that won for GBWC Australia or Korea as well, because it's very, I'll say, unique. It's not really to my personal taste. It's definitely got an interesting style to it, and it's definitely got the uniqueness that they're looking for. But whether it really should have won, I think is definitely definitely debatable. I don't really like that. Alex says it was a disgrace. Yeah, so that seems to be the theme for a lot of the GBWC this year. Is a lot of people aren't really too happy with things. I guess we could say that, like, in Bandai's defense, they're a little bit busy with the new Gundam base opening and the unicorn and all that. So I'd have to imagine that the GBWC is not getting their full attention as it should this year. I don't know. Nice Katoki MG kit. It would be cool to see a Master Grade Verka Atlas, since he did other Thunderbolt kits. And I think the Atlas could definitely, just based on its design, it would be much better in 1/100 scale than the HG. The HG is a perfectly fine kit, but it's such a complicated design that to be able to get that in Master Grade would just be a lot nicer, I think. I think that's done enough. So this step is... Thank God. That means we have to do more. It's still not done, but this step is done. Favorite, what was that? Favorite flavored soju? Happy Smile as favorite flavored soju. What a silly question. Soju doesn't have flavors. Soju has terrible and terrible. Soju isn't good. Anyone that says they like soju is just lying, because they just like to be drunk. Or they like to be sick. Because that's what you get from drinking soju. You, at least for me, this is obviously not true for everyone, but you don't, when I drink soju, I don't really get that fun part of being drunk. You just go to, like, just being drunk and then really sick later. Soju is not good. I think one reason a lot of people do like soju is because it's cheap. So you're saying if you want to get drunk, you want a kind of nice flavor? Uh, Top pick on the 5 lead Gundams. My favorite of the 5 lead Gundams in G Gundam? Uh, Not the Maxter. That thing's just way goofy. Bolt Gundam and Rose Gundam are also really goofy. So I guess kind of by default, the Dragon Gundam would be the other ones would be my favorite. So I think it's got to be the God Gundam for sure. The God Gundam definitely would be my favorite. Blueberry flavored soju? Yeah, I don't think that would taste very good. I think I haven't really tried that much flavored soju. I think I've had maybe, what would that have been? I did try some flavors. No, I don't know if I have. I know I've tried flavored makgeolli, but I don't know if I've ever tried flavored soju. I just don't really think I would want to. I sometimes can enjoy some somek, but I just don't really enjoy soju in general that much. Gray. Okay. Are you ready for Jim's counterattack next week? I guess so. Irvin asks, pineapple on pizza, may or nay? Pineapple on pizza, hell yeah, so good. If you don't like pineapple on pizza, then like, who are you kidding? Like, pineapple's good, pizza's good. Why would it not be good at pineapple on pizza? Why? I don't really understand the hate for pineapple on pizza. Like, it's good. I had it yesterday. Jim says pineapple on anything you. So, Jim, do you like pineapple, just plain pineapple? Pineapple, like, if you like just plain pineapple, then how can you not like pineapple on some other things? What is wrong with pineapple on pizza? People put all those sorts of other weird shit on pizza. Especially here in Korea, people put all kinds of weird stuff on Korea. On the one thing that people get surprised a lot about, I know like foreigners coming to Korea often get surprised about corn on pizza here in Korea, which also doesn't seem that weird to me. It's really good. Goguma pizza is good. Alex is tripping over here, saying that Goguma pizza is gross. Goguma pizza is good too. Goguma is sweet potato. So yeah, sweet potato pizza. Sweet potato on pizza is also super good. One thing that was really weird for me to try for the first time was goguma cake. That was my first birthday celebration here in Korea. We were having a party. It wasn't exactly a party specifically for my birthday, but we were at a local bar here with some people, and one of my Korean friends brought me a cake. I was already drunk at the time, so I was happy. But one of my friends, the same friend who got married to a Singaporean recently, brought me a cake, and it was a goguma cake, a sweet potato cake. I just like, I don't even remember. I think I just like just dove into the cake anyway, and then it's like all sweet potato. It's like, oh no. It was really weird and not really good. But I think I could say I would like it now if I had it again. It was just really surprising at the time. And I had only been in Korea for less than a year at the time, so I wasn't really as used to eating sweet potato as much as I am now. Sweet potato is pretty commonly eaten here. Oh, this is too dark. Damn. All right, I need to add a little bit of white. Or, no, yeah, white. Mr. Pizza sucks. Do you agree? Mr. Pizza? Yeah. Here in Korea, usually eat either Pizza School or Domino's. Pizza School is like really cheap. You guys are definitely not going to know Pizza School at all unless you live here in Korea. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anywhere else outside of Korea, but obviously probably pretty well known by most people. That's what I had yesterday. Domino's is much more expensive, but it's obviously like a little bit kind of nicer-ish. I'm gonna end up with much more of this paint than I really need, but it's all right. In fact, Summer wants to know if you like Goguma pizza. Yeah, I like Goguma pizza. I said that. Pizza School hot chicken pizza. No, see, I don't like hot chicken, so I wouldn't have that. But Pizza School usually get like usually get Napoli or Deutsche Bite pizza from Pizza School. I don't even know what's on it. Deutsche Bite pizza is, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even bother because most of you guys will have no idea what I'm talking about anyway. Like, you'll get the idea, but without Pizza School, just don't know. Would you like the HG Tristan if it were using better parts and stuff? Like, you're asking me if like Banda actually did put their full effort into making the HG Tristan, would I like it more? Yeah, of course, for sure. But unfortunately they didn't. But I still see the potential there to have a pretty cool design. Ultimately, though, it's still a very kind of boring design outside of the head. Just like the design in anime, it's not really that interesting of a Gundam design in general. The head is really cool looking, but the rest of it's very vanilla. It's not really all that interesting, but that's not to say that you can't still have a cool kit. So I'm still just working on the chipping on this, but what I'm doing now is adding a second color to give it some depth. I would show you guys on camera, but it's really going to be hard to see on camera. I think you guys are I'm wondering if I should even make this color a little bit lighter. It's different enough, but it's kind of hard to tell. When it's matte coated, you should be able to see it more. The difference in color will help anyway. Thoughts on the possibility of a revive Alex? I don't know where the possibility of a revive Alex would be, but if there's a possibility of a revive Alex, then that's cool. I haven't seen anything to make me believe that that is happening, but I could enjoy that. I suppose Alex is also not really all that exciting of a design for me personally. The classic cheese pizza. Yeah, cheese pizza is pretty cool. And your name there, Jackie Chen, makes me really want to watch some Dragon Ball. Mech aesthetics and designs you're drawn to and like. For like design aesthetics, I really love like Katoki's design style, and Naoki uh, usually as well. Um, not everything Naoki does is always appealing to me. Uh, like some of his work for the Build Fighters series uh, hasn't really been to my taste, but I'm usually a fan of Naoki's designs. It's your Jackie Chan says it's my actual name. Sorry. I just assumed that it was a reference to Dragon Ball, but if that's your actual name, that's pretty cool. Uh, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, that had to have been a pretty cool thing. Anyway, uh, really don't want to work on this. Oh, really want this to be done. Uh, leave some leave some questions here. Are you going to buy the Kame van? Yeah, all of the Dragon Ball Mecha Collection kits I'll get for sure. Gotta collect them all. Uh, Someone asks, do you watch animes with your wife? No, I barely watch anime at all. Like, very super rarely. And definitely not with my wife. She's just not really interested in series. If it's a movie or something, she might be a little bit more interested in it. But she's also just not really into anime much. Uh, but actually, guys, I think I better call it night. I can hear my son crying over in the other room. He woke up, he was sleeping. So I better call it a night, guys. I better go check on him. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. After checking on him, I'll probably come back to work on this some more, but I better just end the chat now. So I'll upload that Grimgird work in progress video, guys, for you guys soon. So check that out, and I'll post a video announcing the big contest soon enough. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.